The Committee on Parole is called to order. Today's date is August 19th, 2025, and the time is 9:13 a.m. My name is Danny Barra, serving as your chairman today. My colleagues on today's panel are Mr. Tillis to my left and Mr. Freeman to my right. The panel is still here at headquarters, and our remote location is DeSoto Detention Center. Is there any staff in the room with you? Can you unmute? We can't hear you.
No, sir.
No staff? Okay. Then give us your name, full name, and DOC number for the record.
Don Pedro Wilson, DOC number 530-137.
Okay, I'm looking at your notice of preliminary hearing, and it was determined back then that you were not eligible for appointed counsel then. So that would mean you're not eligible for appointed counsel now. I'm going to go ahead and read a list of violations to you and ask you to tell me if you're guilty, not guilty, or guilty with a statement. Number 2 says that you failed to report to your parole officer for the month of February, March, April, May, June, and July of 2025. How do you plead to that violation?
Guilty. With a statement.
Okay. And number 3 says that you moved from your listed address and failed to provide your parole officer with a valid address where you could be contacted. You absconded supervision and a parole warrant was issued. How do you plead to that one?
Not guilty with a statement.
All right. And on or about July 3rd, 2025, you got a ticket for speeding and driving under suspension. How do you plead to that one?
Guilty.
All right. You wanted to make a statement, so I'm gonna sign your case, so I'll go ahead and see it from here. What kind of statements you want to make in regard to number 2?
I had started a job, and my job consisted of me being gone away weeks and weeks at a time. That's why I wasn't at the address. Like, I never moved.
You never moved, you just wasn't staying at that address?
No, the job I had started, it consisted of me being gone weeks and weeks at a time. That's why I was never there. That's my address.
So did you make your parole officer known that?
No, I never contact. No, sir. I never made contact with her.
Do you see how that could be a problem?
Yes, sir.
If you were to get a break today, what would you do differently?
If I contact her, I let her know that I started employment and like what was going on with my situation.
All right.
As far as
anything else you want to say about number 2?
Like I don't see how the February was my last February. That was the last time I went. I know for sure that it was the last time I went to port. I came March, but something had come up while I was in the parole office, so I had to leave. I remember I asked the woman, "Can I leave and come back?" But I never made it back. So in July, I don't see how I missed July. I was locked up at the beginning of July.
Well,
you
didn't report. It's not really totally incorrect.
Yeah,
the whole point is about reporting, and you admit you didn't report, but your reason was that you were working.
Yes, sir.
Right.
I have wrote a letter to the board and to my parole officer.
I saw that. All right. You got enough about number 2 in there, I think. And then number 3, you moved from your address. You're saying you didn't move, right?
No, sir. I just started work.
Okay. And then speeding, you plead guilty to that.
Yes, sir.
Right. I'm looking. We have some people here in support of you.
Yes, sir.
Let's hear from Miss Lily Wilson first, cousin.
Yes.
Go ahead, Wilson. Tell us what you have to tell us about Don.
Hold on. You can hear me?
Yes. Yes.
Yes, I feel like he should be released because he was trying to change his life around. He had got a job And he also have a daughter at home waiting on him, and she called us every day about him. And like he really was trying to change his life around.
Well, thank you. Take that into consideration. We also have Miss Theresa Wilson, a cousin.
Yes, sir. Mr. Redfield Wilson.
Okay, I can't see you. Okay, go ahead and tell us what you got to tell us.
Yeah, that's my cousin. He's a good person, man. Like he been incarcerated like 12 years, and he came home on the right path, you know. And when he came home, I mean, while he was incarcerated, he kind of lost his dad and his mom. He been like around me like since he been home, and I can see him doing better. Okay, he probably did make some mistakes not going to see his PO and stuff like that. But at the same time, he was working, so he have a reason why. But I feel like he should have like reached out to her. But if y'all give him another chance, I feel like he'll do better and understand. You know, he's a good person. He ain't catch no new charges. Like he got a speed ticket, but that's not nothing. I feel like this serious should hold him back or nothing like that.
All right. Thank you for your input. Appreciate it.
All right, thank you, man.
All right, that's all the supporters we had here. We have no one here in opposition.
Jesse Bacon. Employee. Jesse Bacon.
He was maybe, yeah.
Oh, Jesse Baker. Okay, is he Baker?
Excuse me. This Redfield was Jesse Baker is his boss. I just got off the phone with him. He's like working right now. He was trying to make it, but he couldn't. I guess he's kind of busy right now.
Okay.
That's his boss. His who he worked for.
And basically, what would Jesse have to tell us? That he's going to give him a job if he gets out?
No, he have the job right now, waiting on him. He's waiting on him to get released or whatever. He's waiting on him. That's basically what he was gonna tell y'all, that he worked for him. He was arrested when he was with his boss leaving the job.
Okay.
That's how he got arrested, with his boss.
All right.
Yes, sir.
All right, Mr. Wilson. If we were to let you go, would you report to your parole officer monthly?
Yes, sir.
No questions asked. You got the clear message now, right?
Yes, sir.
Not going to be tolerated. You got to report.
Yes, sir.
That means you actually talk to the officer, see the officer, fill out your report. You don't just go to office and say, I'm leaving, I can't stay.
Yes, sir.
Your boss obviously is going to understand that need to do that too, so he ought to help you out with that. All right, I have no questions. Does anybody have any questions?
I don't have a question.
All right, I'm going to be the one to cast the first vote, so I'm going to go ahead and vote to reinstate your parole, give you another chance in order that you follow all the conditions of parole, including the reporting monthly.
Yes, sir.
Mr. Tillis?
My vote is do not revoke.
Thank you.
Mr.
My vote is to do not revoke, reprimand, and continue on supervision.
All right, Mr. Wilson, your parole is going to be reinstated and you're going to be continued on supervision. And remember, reporting couldn't get you in jail.
Yes, sir. Thank you all.
Good luck to you. This concludes our business in DeSoto Parish at 9:21 a.m.
Doing
All right, would you please give us your full name and DOC number for the record?
Theresa Marie Hopkins, 499-862.
All right. I'm going to give you a brief explanation of the process. First, I'm going to read some information into the record and ask you to verify it. Then we're going to give you a chance to speak. I'm going to ask you to tell us what caused your incarceration and why you should be released. We'll ask for information from the warden or the facility people to speak. And then we'll allow comments from supporters and opposition. And then we'll conduct a parole interview.
You can scoot up.
So today we have for parole consideration Theresa Hopkins, whose DOC number 499-862, who's a second felony offender who was convicted of manslaughter on May 20th, 2013 and sentenced to serve 35 years in St. Tammany Parish. You have a parole eligibility date of November 26, 25. You have a good time date of March 25th, 34, and a full term date of June 20th, 40. Does that information sound correct to you?
Yes, sir.
All right, well, go ahead and tell us, what did you do to get yourself in jail, and why do you think now would be a good time to release you?
I was at a drug house, and a lady somebody got killed, and I was there, and they said I had a part in it. They say I had gave them the murder weapon to kill the lady.
Did you?
Yes, sir, I did.
Okay. Anything else you want to tell us?
That's all, sir.
She gave the murder weapon or the precinct, that's what she was into. All right. I don't see that you have any attorney present to speak for you. Can I have the warden or the jail staff to tell us how you've been while you're incarcerated?
I'm April Cootie. I'm the program director. I have had Theresa here with me since 2013. She hadn't been a problem. She's taken every class that she's been able to take. Just works. You know, she gets a job on compound and works. And she has tried hard to better herself with classes and anything that we've asked of her.
Thank you. I see we have in support Ivy Mathis with a reentry specialist. Miss.
Yes, sir. Good morning.
Go ahead.
Yes, sir. Good morning, board members. My name is Ivy Mathis, and I am a reentry transitional specialist with VOTE, which stands for Voice of the Experienced. We have a transitional home that we are willing to take Miss Hopkins in as a client, where she will have all the necessary benefits and resources to help her get acclimated. We offer 6 months up to a year, depending on each case. We do know that every case is different. Everyone acclimates differently. I will work closely with Cornerstone, build a program, Catholic Charity, set up with a bank account, driver's license, teacher processing freedom, debit card, all of the things that she will need, and also get her additional help if she needs it once her assessment is done, should she be successful today at this hearing.
Thank you very much. All right, that's the only person that we had here in support. We have several people here in opposition, and I'm gonna go ahead and list them. We have Miss Regina Spencer, the victim's cousin, who's opposed but not speaking. We have Keith Ford, victim's cousin, who's opposed but not speaking. We have Cedric Robertson, the victim's nephew, opposed but not speaking. We have Antoinette Redmond, victim's cousin, opposed but not speaking. We have Jeffrey Edwards, the victim's son-in-law, opposed but not speaking. And we have Thomas McMillan, victim's friend, who's opposed but not speaking. We have Denzel Folsom, the victim's son, who would like to speak, and would ask him to go to.
No criminal background. Then when they trouble, when it's a love everybody around them stole their blessings from everyone that was talking about. So we talking about freedom. Where's my mind? Those touching. Those high opportunity. Why can't she be up here thinking about something about because of this woman?
Thank you. We also have Shalonda McIntosh, victim's sister, who will speak.
As I stated, I'm also a life woman. And the loss of my sister over the last 20 years has been unbearable. And I thought that I was over it. And I thought that I could heal from it and move on. But as this case has reclaimed or came upon again, I'm not over it. I'm trying to forgive, but I can't. For her to stick, for the offender to stick and claim that she had nothing to do with what happened to my sister is very, very unbelievable. The case, the evidence was lost, so we can't really prove what hand that she had in it. But she had enough hand in it to take my sister away from us. My sister was loving, and regardless of what was in the case, she was a loving person, would give the shirt off her back. And I just don't feel as if Theresa has presented enough remorse that I'm seeing on this screen to be released back into this community. She's smiling, and I don't see anything right now worth smiling about. This is my sister, this is a family member, and we will never get back again. She has grandchildren that she never met. Nieces and nephews and cousins. You name it. She would have been a pillar to them. And people go through things in life, drugs, whatever. Everybody in this courtroom has a family member that has been in a situation where they didn't want to be. That does not give anybody the right to take a life. For that reason and that reason only, I wish and I will hope that you guys make a decision that she stay in there and do the rest of her time. I'm not going to be long-winded, but I thank you for hearing me.
You will. All right. We also have Latanya McMillan.
Thank you guys for hearing me today. I grew up down the street from Miss Tina. That's what we called her in the neighborhood, Miss Tina. Miss Tina had the house in the corner that was custom built with custom drapes. And you took your shoes off when you went in her house. Miss Tina had the shirt away that said Mighty Mike's mom. And she ran up and down the sidelines at her son's football game when he played Little League. She loved Denzel. He was her pride and joy. And she was also, like Denzel stated, all they had. She was the mother and the father. And she was the only one that could keep her son Mike in line. And I'm here to tell you that since she has left that spiral, and it is a direct result of this incident. He has a little girl that looks just like his mother. He has to look her in the face, see his mother every time he sees that child. Taking her away didn't just end her life, it ended his in a way too. It took away Mighty Mike's mom. It took away little Denzel's mom. It took away our Miss Tina, the team mom, the biggest cheerleader at the Little League field. The woman with the big smile and the loud voice that was small in stature, but big in personality. It took it away. And I came here today not knowing how I felt about this person being released, because I understand that 20 years is a long time. And I believe in forgiveness and I believe in reforming all those things. But what I did not hear her say one time was that she was sorry. Not once. In her opening statement, she said she admitted that she gave the weapons. She never said that she was sorry. She begged for the person to come over. She coached them. the year that she started the program. It all sounds very rehearsed, but even in her rehearsal, she couldn't rehearse that she was sorry. And for that, I hope that you guys will find that she has no remorse. And until she be remorseful, there will be no justice, no real justice anyway. And the only thing that you guys can do to help ensure that there is legal justice is to keep her behind this bar. If she's in St. Tammany Parish, her family members can come and see her and visit her if they care enough to. We can't go see Miss Nina again. She's got a ring on her finger, so she's probably married. Miss Nina can't live that life. She'll never see her son get married. Her family can still go see her in St. Tammany Parish. And until she can find remorse, she needs to stay right there. Thank you.
Thank you. All right, that's the end of the people who wish to testify. We also have opposition, though, from the district attorney's office, from the sheriff's office, and from the...
All right, let's talk about that. This parole panel had 2 hearings that really show the spectrum of what the board deals with. One about a technical violator who may just need a firmer hand, and one that brought forward deeply emotional testimony from a family still grieving an irreplaceable loss. First up was Don Pedro Wilson. His case was fairly straightforward. He admitted to failing to report for several months, admitted to a traffic violation, but pushed back on the claim that he had moved from his address. His explanation boiled down to employment. He said he'd taken a job that kept him on the road for weeks at a time, and while he hadn't actually moved, he also hadn't notified his parole officer about his absence. That's where the problem lies. Parole requires communication, not assumptions. The board pressed him on that point, and to his credit, he owned it, saying he should have contacted his officer and would do so if given another chance. The hearing also included testimony from his cousins and even reference to his employer, all vouching that he was working, staying out of trouble, and deserving of another opportunity. The panel weighed it all and, rather than revoking, reinstated his parole with a clear warning. Mr. Wilson got lucky here. The board was patient and pragmatic, but also crystal clear. If he wants to stay out, he has to report consistently. Then the tone shifted with the hearing for Theresa Marie Hopkins. This was parole consideration for a serious offense. Manslaughter tied to events at what she herself described as a drug house, where she admitted to providing the weapon that took a woman's life. Hopkins was calm and direct, but her brief answers and quiet demeanor stood in sharp contrast to the testimony that followed. The prison program director described her as a model inmate, taking classes, working steadily, and causing no problems. She also had structured reentry support lined up, including transitional housing and services through a reentry program. On paper, she presented as someone who had put in work during incarceration. But then came the opposition, and it was powerful. Family members of the victims spoke one after another, describing not just the person they lost, but the hole left in their lives 20 years later. Her son, her sister, her lifelong friends. They painted a picture of a beloved mother and community member who will never see her grandchildren grow up or cheer on her son again. The repeated theme was the absence of remorse. They didn't hear Hopkins say she was sorry, and they didn't believe she truly accepted the weight of what happened. The emotion in the room was undeniable. Grief, anger, frustration that their loved one never got a second chance, while the person they hold responsible was asking for one. Through it all, the panel remained professional and even-handed. Chairman Barra and his colleagues kept the proceedings respectful, letting every voice be heard without rushing or editorializing. The contrast between Wilson's hearing, relatively calm, almost routine, and Hopkins's hearing, charged, emotional, and contested, underscored the breadth of what these sessions entail. One case hinged on missed check-ins and steady employment, the other on questions of remorse, accountability, and whether rehabilitation outweighs the irreparable harm caused by a violent act. Overall, the atmosphere was balanced. Supporters spoke, opponents spoke, and the board held the line between empathy and procedure. It was a reminder that parole hearings are not trials. They're about assessing readiness for release within a framework of rules, safety, and justice. If you found this hearing insightful, consider subscribing, hitting the bell, and letting me know your thoughts in the comments below. I read every one.